Hi guys, welcome to Cast Amazing Wow Weather channel. Today this is the Cast Amazing Wow Weather service. Today we're going to do a second look at the second special snow special. We got a series of special special Christmas outlooks coming for you today. We got 12 Christmas specials here on Cast Amazing Wow. The first one came out yesterday. The second one's coming out today, and we got 12 of them for you with a very interesting videos. The first one was released yesterday, and it was about a snow. The UK snow night in Manchester. This is in Manchester, and it was a historic video looking back at the snow in Manchester 1927. It was a little animation. You can see here the little snow. That was a little animation there. You can see there the fake snow created with special chemicals here. That's the fake snow. It does look quite real, doesn't it? If you go right through the video, look, that is quite real stuff there. You can even see on the little houses there how it just looks so real, and how the behaviour of snow. And you can see the little drifts down there. Oops. See little drifts there on the side of the house there, and you can see how the little snow flakes have accumulated on the wall there with that breeze from the west of a little fan there, and it really has looked a really brilliant effect there on the charts. You can even see here that snowman there on paint looks worse than the snow. That looks so real. Looks so real there, so you can get onto that animation. There's a little story behind it too. Go to Cast Amazing Wow Weather channel, just goes to uploads and click on that video there. It's really interesting there, and you can get to see it as well. Pretty interesting stuff. Now I want to get on with the video now, and generally this is going to be a sort of look at snows and how generally what the conditions have to be right for snow to fall. Now snow is during March in the United Kingdom, and you can either when you have snow or when you have rain. There's a very fine line there, but quite a few times the air is cold enough to support snow at all levels, so even at sea level when the air is very cold. But when you get the sort of milder air coming in from sort of a polar maritime or a northern maritime, well generally then it's quite marginal stuff, and generally you have to be on the high ground or north to get snowfall. Now I want to look at this little thing here that I've made. All these charts are developed by all these things are developed by me, but you can get the other stuff by going on to other sites like weather.net. Thanks to weather.net for letting us use their charts, and also the Met Office. Now, the further north you go, well then the more likely snow is. Generally further away from the equator and the equator thingy, so and further north you go, well then the more likely snow is. So northern Scotland supports snow more than southern England, but generally the higher up you are, so also if you're in a mountainous region, well then it is much easier to get snowfall. So then this chart really does show that very well, doesn't it, the Met Office? Look, the further north, this is the average value of sleet and snow falling from the sky, the average between 71 and 2000. You can see here that hilly areas like look the Exeter, the hills, and the Devon Hills as well, and also these Camry Mountains, Snowdon, the Peak District, the Lincolnshire, the Wolds running up through the North York Moors, and also the Yorkshire Dales, the Lake District, the Southern Uplands, the Grampians, Cairngorm, the North West Highlands, much more to get snowfall. But what's interesting here, actually in the far north of Scotland here, look, the value is look at Shetland and Orkney there. They're both at 60, and quite a lot of Shetland and Orkney are at lower ground, so you can see here how the effects are with snowfall. The further north you go, the more likely it is. So look at the difference there between London and Edinburgh. Quite a lot of large difference there. So the average value is for around 10 to 20 days of snowfall inland, so probably around 15 days. But if you look up to Edinburgh, look how that value increases to around 30 to 40 average days of snowfall. So it is quite interesting this, and once you get onto the high ground, well then you're more looking for more for snowfall as well. So the next thing is 850 HPA line. Right, this is quite interesting topic, and let's get this chart from weather.net. It's a very interesting chart here. This is the 850 HPA temperature forecast. This is a Model E SimWF operational model run. This is valid for midnight on the 1st of Jan. So this is just midnight there. So this run here is predicting sort of a northerly blast across parts of the United Kingdom, but it is bringing in this ridge by the 1st of January, but cold air is still established across the eastern parts. Now you look at this and say, well, generally at 850 HPA the -5 line has to be within you to support snowfall. Now many parts of England and Wales and Northern Ireland are outside the -5 line, between the 0 and -5 line. So you look at this and say, well, any precipitation in northern Scotland is more likely to fall as snow than as rain. But once you look at this chart here, you'd say, well, not really, because look at the 5 to 8 line. Generally have to be north of the 5 to 8 line to support snow. But look how Scotland there is south of the 5 to 8 line. So you look at this and say, well, we could get snow, but the 5 to 8 line's not there, not supporting you. So you say, well, not really. The next thing then is, the next thing is a dew point. Dew points have to be below freezing to support snow, and if they're below freezing, it's quite likely to be rain. But in the very heavy bursts and when winds are light, you can get a little bit of winteriness even when the dew point is slightly above freezing, say 0.1, 0.2, but generally the dew point has to be below freezing for snow to form. Now, generally, if you look at this chart here and say, well, the -5 line, the -10 line is there across parts of Iceland. The -5 line is also in parts of southwest Iceland. You look at this and say, well, that's definitely likely to be snow. But parts of it here, the dew point. Let's just pretend that the dew point's above. Oh no, let's look at Germany. Okay, this is let's look at France. Okay, eastern parts of France here. The temperature at 850 HP is at minus or below -5. So you look at this and say, well, snow is supported here. But actually, the dew points could be above freezing here, and this means snow is not supported, so you're more likely to get rainfall here. So again, those dew points have to be below freezing, and temperatures have to be below 0 at 850 HP to support snow. But if you're within this sort of 0 to -5 territory, well then you could get some snowfall, more likely to be rain, but as I say, you could get some wind chill with this, especially when the dew point's below freezing and when the 5 to 8 line, which is just 500 to 1000 HPA thickness, is supported with you when you're north of this line here. So quite a complicated stuff there. It was a bit baffling. Just wanted to bring this up here to explain it further explain it more to you. This is the L represents low ground, the M represents middle ground, and the H represents high ground. Okay, and look at this. This is the precipitation falling. It's snow on the high ground, but once you get down to middle ground and low ground, look how it's all rain. And temperatures up here, say 1,500 feet could be -5. Temperatures around here could be -2, but then temperatures here are around 0 when we get to +1, and then +2 when you get further lower to the surface. And this here is likely to be falling as rainfall. But if the dew point's below freezing for this, so say the dew point's below -2, well then you could get snowfall right down to lower levels when the dew point's below freezing with this. Okay, but this is more likely to be sleety stuff with this sort of profile. So you look at this and say, well, Kasim, what's low ground, what's middle ground, what's high ground? Well, generally in the UK, low ground is between 0 and 150 metres. The middle ground's between 150 and 300 metres, and then the high ground is above 300 metres. That's a highland there above 300 metres. There you go for you. Next thing I wanted to look at was evaporation by cooling, alright? So this is quite a complicated one as well. So say you got water droplets here, you got rainfall falling down from the sky, okay? You got these no. Pretend these are just snowdrops here, these are just flakes of snow. Okay? Now most flakes of snow when they fall in the UK is in the marginal situation. Now in these marginal situations, it's quite moist, not so cold air. Temperature might be above freezing, and as a snowflake encounters these temperatures above freezing, that it forms a layer on the outside of it, and this layer here is water. Okay, now this here, I'm just going to take a cross section from here, alright, and show it up here. Okay, so this is all the little H2O H2O compounds in here. Each one of these here is a H2O compound. And I can see here, some of these compounds are starting to flake off. Look, some of them are starting to flake off. These are the higher energy particles, okay? So this is these particles here are evaporating because they've got a higher energy now. Okay, when the highest energy particles evaporate, that brings the average energy of the rest of the particles, it brings that down. So that's temperature. So it brings the temperature of this lot down, and then this in turn cools the air around it, and then the air becomes cooler, and then the snow line starts to drop lower towards the surface. Okay, that's quite a baffling subject as well. This is quite baffling stuff as well. Okay, so this is another thing I want you to notice here. This is 850 HPA coming in here, okay? Let's just get rid of that there. I don't know why I put that cross in there. Okay, let's just get rid of all this. Okay, so the 850 HPA line is on here, 1,500 meters, correct me on that. Okay, so this is all the temperature profile of the atmosphere. This here, okay, is a dew point. Okay, dew point there, or output. And this here is the temperature. Okay, temperature in degrees Celsius, okay? So you can see here that's 0 degrees Celsius there, and that's -4 there, and -5 is around here, okay? Okay, so 850 HPA temperature, well, let's look at the 850 temperature. Well, look at that. Temperature's at -3. But this stuff's falling as snow. Why? Why is it falling in snow? Even Kasim, look, when temperatures are above freezing at the surface, so 1 degree Celsius. And look, you said that it had to be below -5 at 850 HB to snow to fall. What are you talking about? Well, look at this here, what you have to say for this. Look, the dew point remains below freezing right through the atmosphere. Look, it remains below freezing right through the atmosphere. And look, they're at the temperature line there. Well, look, it comes slightly above freezing here. But to support snow, look, the dew points are below freezing. So even while the snow is falling through the air, it's going to be wet snow. There's very wet snow mixed in with sleet. But this is still enough to support snowfall in the air. A snowfall coming down. Very wet snowfall it will be, but this is just about in the right boundaries to support snowfall. So really, it's quite marginal, quite complicated stuff. And even next thing I want to say to you was that cooling via evaporation works better when the precipitation is heavier. Okay, when the precipitation is heavier, and also when the winds are lighter. So say that when the winds are below sort of force 2, force 1, and then even towards calm. When you're within that range, it really does work well. And when the precipitation is heavier, you get more of these sort of situations here. Remember, when the highest energy particles evaporate, leaving the average energy is less. Therefore, temperatures cooler. And this works heavier when the precipitation. This works better when the precipitation is heavy. Even I'm getting a bit confused there. Even this works better when the precipitation is heavier. So that's another thing for you as well. And when winds are lighter as well, because when the winds are stronger, well, this works. This doesn't work as well because you form sort of a thingy around the air particle here, which stops this from working as good as it would do in lighter winds. So, very baffling stuff for you. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was microclimates. Okay, so you couldn't get settling snow. Temperatures of the ground have to be below freezing, but quite a lot in the United Kingdom. Snow settles only on the grassy surfaces. Grassy surfaces are generally slightly cooler than the roads, so snow starts to settle here. And generally, you have to get these surfaces below freezing for snow to settle. And generally, you can actually have. So, say the snow starts falling. Okay. Let's say the snow starts to fall. Okay, so it's a winter's day and snow starts to fall. Look, snow starts to fall. Okay, and the ground temperature stays at +1 degree Celsius. Well, as soon as the snow hits the ground, it turns back to rain within a couple of seconds. Okay. But let's say lots of these snowdrops fall, the temperature of the ground starts to deteriorate, starts to drop. Okay, so it comes down to minus 0.5. Plus 0.5, and then comes down to 0. Okay, and then some of these snowdrops start to settle on the ground, right, and settle. And then when the temperature of the ground really becomes low, it comes -2, -3, and then snow starts to settle. This is very, 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 very common when snow falls in the United Kingdom when you're looking for it to settle a lot of the time. And sometimes in a winter's day, especially in sort of November and February and March and April, the snow falling from the sky hits the ground at night time and it settles at night time, and then when it comes to the day, the sun, right, the sun's energy, okay, it makes the ground a bit milder, and the snow stops settling throughout the daytime period. Okay. The next thing is microclimates. Okay, so the cooler air, really, as you know, cool air sinks. Okay, so in a valley, cool air can sink. Okay, because cool air is more dense than warm air. So generally, the warm air will rise up, and the cool air will come down. So that means that's something else to look at here. See these little bumps here when you get close to the surface. This is the sort of valley effect when the cool air sinks down, and this is much cooler. And this supports snow generally. If you got a sort of valley like this, look, a valley looking like this, look. In temperature, well, that look is supportive of snow, but generally the higher up you are, the less chance the snow has to melt, so the more likely you are to see snow. Actually, it's quite like one of those effects. So between 0, the difference in chance of the precipitation being snow between 0 and 100 meters is less than the difference of snow falling between 100 and 200 meters. So a bit like a roller coaster. Therefore, it has been a bit roller coaster, this video, hasn't it? Very meaty sort of video. Okay, so that's all the really stuff I want to fit into. There's loads more stuff going on, but the main things is the dew point, 850 HB temperatures, 5 to 8 line, cooling by evaporation, and this profile here in the atmosphere is very interesting here and helps people predict snow. But in the United Kingdom, snow is very notoriously hard to forecast, and a lot of times it's marginal. And that's it for today. So thanks for tuning in to the second of 12. Okay, the second of 12 Christmas specials here on Casting Amazing Wow. As ever, you can go over to Casting Amazing Wow here, and you can just click on the snow special and then the Christmas special, and tomorrow Christmas Eve, we're gonna take a look back. At the year 2012, and we're going to go through. We've had a lot of extreme events here. We've even had a little bit of a tornado here, a little bit of a supercell here. We've had lots of convection lines coming in. It's been a very eventful year. Heavy rainfall, snow, cold, bitterly cold. We've had severe gales in January. We've had a lot going on here. So I want to give you a really in-depth view of what we've had through 2012 tomorrow. Okay, so as ever, this is just a hobby site. This is just a weather enthusiast site. This is just a hobby site. Me doing this for fun here, a bit of it here. So thanks very much for watching, and see you later. And Merry Christmas as well. Coming close to date there. Look at the jingle bells there. If you look closely up into the sky tonight, you might be able to see him in his sleigh. So look out for him tonight. So thanks very much, and see you later.